Here we have for sale our 2021 on a 21 plate. This is a Ford Transit Custom GT Carbon Edition. This is the 320 model, which means it's got a 3.2 tonne gross vehicle weight. It's got the 2 litre EcoBlue Euro 6 diesel engine producing 185 PS, which is roughly 185 brake horsepower. That is accompanied with the automatic gearbox, based of course on the limited spec, and this is the long wheelbase factory double cab. Finished in the fantastic metallic magnetic grey. And what we're going to do in this video is have a little walk around. I'll show you the spec that you get on a Ford Transit Custom Limited of this age. So I mentioned this is based on the limited spec. There's a number of optional extras on this van, which a few we can immediately see here. But we'll also talk you through the thorough conversion, which is the GT Carbon Edition. We'll have a really close look at the condition of this particular example and also talk you through previous service history and what we've done to it during our preparation. So starting here then at the rear of the vehicle, we can see that this one is spec'd with a rear tailgate, which is the first factory optional extra that I can speak of. So the tailgate is one door which comes up like so, as opposed to barn doors which are two doors which open up in that sort of fashion. Another factory optional extra which I can see on this one is that it has got a reversing camera as well. Of course you do get rear parking sensors as standard on the limited spec, but the reversing camera is a factory optional extra, and we can see that this one benefits from that. Now the GT Carbon Edition is a full interior and exterior styling package, and you can see there's lots which has changed at the back of here from standard. So it is a complete rear bumper replacement here. This isn't just an add-on here at the bottom. This is a complete rear bumper replacement, which gives you this diffuser with this sort of double exit exhaust look. Now these are fake exhaust, they don't actually function, but that is the purpose of them, is to of course appear like a rear diffuser with the double exit exhaust, giving that much more aggressive look. But as we move around to the side, not only is it, this has been completely changed, but we can see this additional piece here at the bottom, which gives you these fins, some really nice gloss black detailing as well, which contrasts really nicely with the magnetic grey, and these really nice details here as well, which again just really help to give it that much more aggressive look. And you can also see here we've got the painted part up here in the metallic grey, and then gloss black underneath that as well. And overall I think at the back it just completely changes the look of the van. If you're following that behind, seeing that is a big difference from just a normal Transit Custom double cab. Up the top then we can also see that there is a gloss black rear spoiler which has been added on there, and I actually think on our kits, on our signature kits, we often do the spoilers in the body colour, but on this I think the gloss black actually works really well because there's a number of elements on the van which are also gloss black, and I think on a grey van particularly works really well. In terms of condition then, having a look at the paintwork here at the back of the van, having a look in this tailgate, you can see it's in absolutely stunning order here. At the back there's a lovely gloss to the paintwork. There's a tiniest little sort of outward dent I can just see there, but that is being highly critical. So if I just catch it in that reflection there, you can just about see that, but I say that is being highly critical. I don't think many people are going to ever see that, but if I can see it I will gladly point it out to you. Sorry, I'm going to need to unlock the door there. That has unfortunately just locked itself. We'll come a little sneak peek inside there. We'll come back to that in just a moment. But if I open up the rear tailgate then, we can start to have a look inside the back of the van. So this one being the long wheelbase, you do get that extra 400mm of space here in the back, so you've still got really good load space in there. This one has got brand new ply lining, and that's part of what we have done to it during our preparation. Many of you will know we do this on the vast majority of vans which come into stock with us, but brand new ply lining, and it just absolutely sets it off, and of course is there to protect the vehicle. And having a look there, also done inside the rear of the tailgate, but looking absolutely fantastic in here. Really nice condition of the factory floor. You've of course got the rear threshold there as well, and the bulkhead which is there to give you that separation from the cab to the load space. Another optional extra on this one, it's got LED road lights, which makes a big difference in lower light conditions. But just have a look at the condition inside there. It's quite remarkable for a four-year-old van now. It's quite remarkable for a van to be looking as clean and as tidy as that. Looking down the driver's side of the vehicle then, this is where I like to look in these sort of more dynamic angles here, looking in those reflections, looking for any ripples, dents, signs of previous repair. But this is looking very, very smart indeed. And I mentioned some gloss black elements. You've got, as I say, this section here, but you've also got these gloss black wheel arch extensions as well, and then they tie in really nicely with these nice big skirts which are on the bottom as well, which again, really nice design with these, with the painted part here to the upper section and then a gloss black lower section there, and again just really improves the overall stance and aggressive look to the van. Brand new set of Caliber T-Sport 18-inch alloy wheels. Now we have fitted these during our preparation. I think they tie in really well with the rest of the styling, and we know these wheels so well. We know these are really hardy wheel. I've never ever had one of these crack or buckle or anything like that. An 18-inch seems to be the sweet spot to give you enough sidewall on here so you're not destroying the ride of the vehicle, and you get a bit more tyre wear out of an 18 as well compared to a 20 in our experience. So we find these work really, really nicely, and I think, yeah, looking at that, the gloss black wheel against these gloss black elements, I think it works very, very nicely indeed. A couple of little subtle GT emblems here, including this on the wing here, this nice carbon look emblem here on the wing. We've also got gloss black wing mirror covers. A little blemish I can see just there, which is just a touch in. So you can just see that's been neatly touched in the correct colour. Only it's very small, but if I can see it, I will point it out. And then if we open up the driver's side loading doors, so being a factory double cab, you do get twin side loading doors, and this gives us a look then of these lovely seats here in the back. And there's some really very subtle and well done details on these, which I can show you. So of course, to start with, black leather throughout. You've of course got the contrasting red stitch, but they're also, it's sort of an Alcantara, or sort of, yeah, I would say Alcantara finish. I wouldn't say suede, but it's more like an Alcantara finish, and you can see there. But in the Alcantara, there's actually these really nice and subtle GT logos in the Alcantara, which is so lovely. There we are. It's a really clear look at it there. It's a lovely material that they've used to do that, and I think just adds really an element of thought to this interior. GT carbon, of course, there embroidered into each of the headrests, but gorgeous condition, as you can see here in the back. Full carpet, of course, in here, and you can see just how nice this is. The condition of the step, front seats there, all looking very nice indeed as well. If we open up the driver's door then for the second time in this video, we can have a look in here. So again, just looking at the condition of the step, the carpet of the floor, the driver's seat is all in lovely condition. Same story here with the half Alcantara and the half leather interior, the red stitch, which works really, really well. This brings us on then to another factory optional extra, and that is that this one has just got the single passenger front seat. So as standard, these come with 3 seats in the front, but a optional extra there is to have the single passenger seat, which gives you both armrests in the front, but of course you've still got adjustability as well then on the passenger seat, which you won't get if you've got the double passenger seat. So you can slide this back and forward, adjust the backrest, you can adjust the lumbar support, the height adjustment, you can do all of that there on the passenger seat. Having a look here then, a number of carbon details which have been added as part of this transformation. So you can see this here on the door card. If we come into the center, of course we've got this lovely steering wheel upgrade. If I just jump in to the driver's seat here, so very nice steering wheel upgrade with this gloss carbon finish to the top, which feels really, really nice in your hand. Nice chunky molded steering wheel, carbon to the bottom part here as well, with GT actually under the lacquer there, which is very, very nice, and all of the usual limited goodies in here then. So you've got cruise control, your onboard computer controls, and then into the center then where you can see the mileage, 46,710 miles, no warning lights or anything like that on the dashboard. More carbon into the center here, around the sat-nav screen. And speaking of which, of course, you've got the Sync 3 screen, which comes as standard on the Limited, but another factory optional extra is that this one has got satellite navigation, and of course you can plug your phone into this via one of the USBs, with one here and one just down here, and that will give you Apple CarPlay or Android Auto depending on what phone you've got. As I mentioned, 6-speed automatic gearbox, which really adds a touch of luxury to the drive, especially when you accompany that with 185 brake horsepower engine, air conditioning, heated wing mirrors, heated windscreen, and heated seats. And then finally in here, another factory optional extra. This one's got the 3-pin socket, so 230 volt 3-pin socket there underneath the handbrake. Pardon me. If we come out of the van here, as I mentioned, 2 full flip remote keys come with the vehicle as well. Now, we do hold service history with this vehicle, so it actually had the timing belt replaced in a Ford dealer, and that was done in July of 2024. And I'll put the mileage down in the description for when that was done, but I believe it was in the 30s, 30 odd thousand miles, 38 I think off the top of my head, that was done, which is lovely to see. Yeah, timing belt, or the wet belt as it is known, has been replaced on this van. We also have other service history as well for a much more recent oil and filter change. So during our preparation, when we put it through our workshop, oil and filter change wasn't required because that was only a few thousand miles ago, but we've changed all of the other filters. So that's the fuel filter, the pollen filter, the air filter, that's all been changed. We also changed the rear discs and pads, and of course along with a full multi-point health check as well, just to ensure it's absolute prime condition mechanically. Moving then around to the front, and there's another factory optional extra on this van, and that is the headlights. So this one's actually got the bi-xenon HID headlights, which is very unusual. We don't see that very often on Transit Customs. Don't see that upgrade that often, but a really nice feature to see there. And then of course lots of extra styling here around the front, so very much like the rear, a full front bumper replacement. And you can see a much more aggressive styling here. And again, they're going with this painted and gloss black two-tone approach, which I personally really like. Of course, you've got the lower splitter there, this honeycomb grille underneath the number plate, and it gives a fantastic distinctive look to the van. I think it's very, very nice indeed. And there are a number of stone chips that have been touched in around the front bumper. So we can just see, as I say, a number of these, which are just peppered around the just a frontal area really of the van. So you can see a few down here, and so they have just been neatly touched in on that front bumper, so you're not even really gonna, from here you just certainly wouldn't notice them, but as I say, if I can see them I will gladly point those out to you, because as I say, if you do start having a look down here, as I say, you will see some touch-ins dotted around, but overall very presentable indeed. Bonnet is looking in fantastic condition, very, very nice and smooth there to the bonnet. Having a look at the windscreen, having a look for any chips or anything like that in the windscreen. It's all looking very good. There's nothing which I can see or point out there. And then finally then, looking down the passenger side here, again, just having a look in those reflections, looking very, very clean and tidy. Just trying to see if there's anything I can see here to show you, but all looking very well indeed. If I open up the passenger side side-loading door, I suppose there's another look then of the seats from this angle, opening up the passenger front door, having a look at the door card, step, and the passenger seat there, all looking very good. You can see again this lovely detail. I really like that. I think it's just such a thoughtful thing, not to just stick leather in it, but to go with their own their own branded Alcantara in there. It's very nice. But yeah, condition in here is really, really smart indeed. So just to summarize then, it is a 2021 on a 21 plate Ford Transit Custom 320 model, so 3.2 tons gross vehicle weight, 2 litre EcoBlue Euro 6 diesel engine producing 185 PS. Crucially, that timing belt, or what is known as the wet belt, has been changed. That was done in a Ford dealer, as I say, around July of 2024. 30 odd thousand miles, and as I say, we'll put the exact details of that in the description of the advert, wherever you see that, whether it's on our website, on AutoTrader, any other platform, you will see that down there in the description. And I say we do hold other service history as well before coming to us, which has now involved changing all of the other filters, new rear discs and pads as well, and a clean health check ready for its new owner. Brand new ply lighting, a whole host of factory optional extras, upgraded headlights, single passenger front seat, satellite navigation, 230 volt power converter in the cab, rear tailgate, rear camera, and also the LED load lights. Full, of course, GT Carbon Edition upgrades on this with that beautiful interior. full body styling and looks absolutely spot on. Brand new wheels, brand new ply lining, and really very good condition for its age and mileage, ready for its new owner. These are very rare. We've had a few of these in the past, but probably less than 3, I would say, and they've never hung around with us for very long. If you are interested, I would urge you to head over to our website there, bridgeendvans.co.uk, and that's where you'll find the link to this particular vehicle of the full advert, and along with all of the other Transit custom double cabs and other vans that we've currently got in stock at the moment. We can arrange delivery nationwide. We can arrange finance at very competitive rates, whether that be for limited companies or for private individuals. And we can also arrange part exchange, whether that be for cars or for vans. Thank you very much for watching.